So my special Deadpool video that I had planned for today will be uploaded tomorrow. So yesterday, the Amazing Atheist made a video, False Rape Accusations Are Real. It is a fantastic video. It is linked down below in the description. But today I wanted to verify and confirm that his video is in fact accurate and correct. False rape accusations are real. In fact, rape accusations, criminal accusations, drug accusations, whatever it be, accusations are made all the time, and some are in fact false. For anyone to hold the view that a accusation made against someone is never false is ridiculous, and you're an idiot if you really think that people don't make up false allegations towards other people. It happens, and today I'm going to tell you my personal experience, a life experience, something that I've never shared here on my YouTube channel, of some false allegations made towards me regarding rape. This goes back to my very first relationship. But before we begin, I want to make it clear that I would never talk about my public relationships or relationships that I've been in with people, with the exception of this one particular relationship. That's because it was my first relationship. All my other relationships I've done, people that I've dated, whether I've had conflicts with them, I don't feel it necessary to bring it to the public. I don't feel it necessary to open up about my private life to the world here on YouTube. It's just nobody's business. But in this particular case, this first relationship is an exception because this first relationship I learned a lot, I grew a lot, I had a lot of different experiences from this relationship, and it relates to the topic at hand, false rape allegations. So let's go back in, 2007, 2008, I think? Or was it 2008? I don't remember. It was a while ago. It was when I was 16. I'm almost 23 now. So when I was 16, I got involved with my very first relationship. As anyone would, your first relationship usually involves a breakup and usually involves both parties being fairly naive. At least I was fairly naive. She wasn't. She was actually quite smart, controlling, and manipulative in a way in which a lot of people didn't see. But in any case, this first relationship was terrible. Mainly for the reason is that she was extremely controlling, which is fine. A lot of people get in their first relationships get involved with someone who's controlling. She was the type of person who I could not talk to any females, and if I were to talk to another female without her knowing about it, I would be considered cheating on her. I know that sounds crazily out there, but no joke. I still remember when I started running START, which is a program in college which allows you to start college 2 years early. I did running START, and one of my classmates was female next to me, and she would wait, my ex-girlfriend at the time, would wait outside my classroom, and I walked out of the classroom talking to this girl who was sitting next to me because she's my classmate, and we were talking about homework and stuff, and immediately on the spot, she accused me of cheating, and it was very embarrassing for me standing in front of another woman and having my girlfriend accuse me of cheating on her because I simply talked to her. So this is the type of person we're dealing with. Anything that I do, I'm not allowed to have female friends. I was not allowed to have any male friends. I still remember we got in an argument over something that I could only have one best friend, and that one best friend was her. To make it short, she was a massive narcissist. But more than just being a narcissist, she was also extremely manipulative to the point of where I endured this bad relationship for almost 2 years. Actually, it was about 1.5 years, and I endured this relationship because of the threats that she would make towards me regarding me breaking up. Because I knew no matter how I was naive and I was ignorant and I was in a bad relationship, and I knew that. Everyone around me, my parents, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister were telling me to get out of this relationship. But I was like, no, it's okay. I can change this person. You know, that typical naive, I can change this person. This person has issues, but I can change them. No, I couldn't change this woman. And eventually I realized that, and I was like, you know what? I need to end this relationship. It's not going places. And that's when threats were being made to me. Threats of, I'm going to ruin your career, because at the time when I was 16, actually I was almost 17, I wanted to pursue policing. I was studying criminal justice in my college, and I just sent in my application for an internship at my local police department in Renton at the time, the Renton Police Department. And I sent in my application, and I was really looking forward, doing this internship job. She didn't want me to become a cop. She thought she despised cops, And she even told me that in text messages that if I break up with her, that she's going to ruin my career and she's going to make threats and allegations towards me. Now, me being the person I am, I'm someone who I likes to back things up with evidence. So, she sent me text messages threatening that accused me of rape if I broke up with her. She sent me harassing messages telling me that she would kill herself if I ended the relationship. Now, me being in my first relationship, that scared me. Like, when a girl says she's going to kill herself if you break up with her, first of all, that's like a 100% red flag. I don't care what you do, get the fuck out of that relationship, because that is one of the most harmful, damaging things, is to have someone keep you in an abusive relationship by threatening to harm themselves if you end it. That's not what love is, that's not what care is, and that's what narcissistic, controlling maniac psychopaths do, is threaten to harm themselves if you end the relationship and try to keep you in this abusive relationship. Because she was all about having control over me, and to an extent she had a lot of control over me until I eventually cut the ties and then had to go to court. And this is about what the video is. I'm making this video in response to TJ's video is to confirm that false rape allegations are true. They happen. They happened to me. I went to court for allegations, several actually, which I'll get into in a second. So I ended the relationship, and immediately after ending this relationship, okay, let me back up first. First of all, she said she wanted to take a break for like a week or two, and I said, okay, let's take a break. And as we were going to come back from that break, I was going to end it and saying we're done here. But little then I found out is that during that break, she was with another guy and ended up fucked him during our 2-week break, to which then when I found out about that, I said, we're done, I don't want nothing to do with you. That was a massive trust thing that broke my trust with her, and I still have trust issues to this day about that. But in any case, I ended it fair and square, and I said, I want nothing to do with you. Don't contact me, don't call me, don't text me, don't message me. I blocked her on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, every fucking social network site that she had, I blocked her at. And several months after that, I had a knock at the door. This knock at the door was from a police officer handing me a piece of paper, claiming that if I was to contact so-and-so in the next week, that I would be arrested because she filed an anti-harassment order against me. Because you can file an anti-harassment order against anyone, right? And I was standing there in front of the front door holding this piece of paper in front of a cop, and he's telling me, don't do this, 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 this. If you do this, you will be arrested. And, when you file a harassment order or restraining order or whatever it is against someone, they have, the person can write out a report of what they're, why they're doing this. And she had a bunch of allegations, like a ton of them. Claiming that I was this terrible person, that I was manipulative, that I was threatening her, that I was doing all this shit. And I was like, okay, fine. I haven't talked to her for months, so I'm fine. I'm not going to message her to begin with, so I don't really care that I'm having this harassment order put on me for a temporal harassment order. And she actually wanted the harassment order to go through for she actually wanted it to stay for like a year with the accusations she was making towards me. So I went to court with her harassment order wanting to get it filed on me for over a year with all these other accusations, including I raped her and all this shit. Now, I went to court prepared, and thankfully the judicial system came on my side because I had her text messages, I had her emails, I had everything that she had ever said to me, including phone calls and everything backed up, recorded. Her threats towards me. I'm gonna fucking ruin your career. I'm gonna accuse you of rape. I had that on record. And I sat down. The judge, I didn't say a damn fucking word in the entire court case, which was over an hour long. And she handed, the judge her papers and her things, her accusations against me. And the judge just kind of looked at it. And I will never forget this. The judge asked my lawyer, because I had a lawyer with me, because I hired one because I was scared shitless. I'm going to say that. Like, when you have false accusations, specifically rape, thrown towards you, that can ruin your career if something goes through like that. And I was terrified. But I hired a lawyer to represent me, so he, did all the speaking, but I didn't say a damn word. And the judge asked my lawyer, did Daniel Solzbach block so and so on all of her on his social networking, because I made a counter statement to her statements towards me, because in court you're allowed to make a counter statement to whatever they say, and I made my counter statement, and I brought screenshots of all of my paperwork of all the social networking sites that I had her blocked. So I proved to the judge that I had her blocked, and the judge flipped around her her order against me, claiming that she was the one harassing me, because she was. Even after I blocked her on everything, she was still trying to contact me, still calling other people and trying to talk to them and get to talk to me, and trying to get, she was doing everything in her power to talk to me, making these false accusations about me. She still was trying to contact me, and I said I wanted nothing to do with it. So she had no idea how harassment works, because when you file a harassment order, if you have everything blocked on that person tries to harass you, and they're filing the order against you, they're the person harassing you, because you don't want anything to do with them, and the judge flipped the harassment order on her and said that she was the person harassing me, and that number one, she needs to stop, and then number two, he even told her that by reading her statements against me, that he could tell that she was extremely manipulative. He said that in the courtroom, and I was sitting there kind of like, I was giggling. This is absolute fucking pwnage. Like, she's being pwned right now. And the judge, throughout the harassment order that she tried, throughout their accusations, that everything that she had against me was thrown out. And the judge said that I was free to go. I signed a little piece of paper saying that I was there and everything, and that was that. And I have never talked to her since. But the reason I'm telling you this crazy story, and I've left out a lot of information, but the reason I'm telling you these details is, for the main fact of the matter, is that I was accused of false rape accusations, and I was terrified because of it. And the people who file these false rape accusations, or who claim these sorts of things, they do more damage to the victims of people who are raped, who actually have issues, who have been traumatized. The people who make the false rape accusations are the people that, as TJ says, the feminists should be fucking mad at. That women and men should be fucking mad at. The people who make the false accusations to make a real issue that happens less important. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of my personal testimony of a real-life experience I had in my first relationship when I was 16 and 17 years of age. False accusations are real, and for anyone to think otherwise, you're a fucking idiot. Till next time, my name is Daniel Solzbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. Peace the Rep out.